Good evening. I'm pleased to declare Quinnipiac University's 2015 commencement exercises for the College of Arts and Sciences officially open. Would everyone please stand for the invocation, which will be delivered by Andy Ober, Protestant chaplain.
Let's begin our time together in prayer. God, as we come to this celebration, we give you thanks. We give you thanks for this university, for its faculty, its staff, and administrators, for our parents, friends, and family, and for the benefit of this world-class education. Today, remind us of our callings, renew in us a passion for our work, and give us joyful and thankful hearts for these past few years. You have brought us to this day of celebration, and we pray that you would bless it and us all. In your name, amen.
Please be seated. I'd like to acknowledge the platform party, which includes trustees, university administrators, university clergy, and deans, as well as our speaker and honorary degree recipient, who you'll meet very shortly. It is now my honor to present Dr. John L. Leahy, president of Quinnipiac University, who will bring you greetings on behalf of the university community.
As I've said on many occasions, class of 2015, you're the best. And God knows you've been fun to be around these past 4 years. It's a pleasure for me to welcome all of you here on this truly joyous occasion. To our graduates, the class of 2015, I want to add a special welcome and my heartiest congratulations to each and every one of you. During your years at Quinnipiac, you have made all of us very proud. And while some social scientists and media often portray your generation as excessively self-centered and less concerned with helping others, the Quinnipiac class of 2015 has clearly disproven that characterization. More than any other class, the class of 2015 has volunteered on hundreds of community service projects, including raising money for the sick and the impoverished, and working on various projects to help those who are less fortunate. For example, the Big Event is a student-run project that this year brought together more than 1,500 student volunteers, including many of today's graduates, who provided services such as cleanup and beautification projects for the Hamden area public parks. Our women's lacrosse team made regular visits to several local elementary schools to read to the children, while also visiting senior citizens at the Atria Larson Place in Hamden. In addition, the Kappa Delta sorority, have a few sorority sisters out there, Kappa Delta sorority held its annual Shamrock Week, which raises money and awareness for the prevention of child abuse in Connecticut. This year, they raised nearly $13,000 that was donated to the Children's Center of Hamden. Many of today's graduates also traveled internationally, traveled to such places as Nicaragua and South Africa, where they work with volunteers within the local community, including rural school teachers and healthcare workers, families of children with special needs, small business owners, and grassroots organizations. Selfish and uncaring? Not the Quinnipiac class of 2015. The class has also excelled academically. 72 of today's graduates were recently honored at senior award ceremony for their outstanding success in the classroom. This class has also achieved an extremely high graduation rate and the highest levels ever of cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude academic honors. A record number of you are going on to pursue graduate degrees in various fields of study, including dental, law, and medical school, and a variety of PhD programs. Today's graduates also displayed leadership within the Quinnipiac community. No one better exemplifies the leadership roles you took on than your student body president, Mustafa El Hagar. I very much enjoyed working with Mustafa particularly in his role as student representative on the university's Board of Trustees. Class of 2015, as you look back on all of your accomplishments, I am sure that you will agree with me that you would not be graduating today if it were not for the help and support of two very important groups, the Quinnipiac faculty and your parents and family. So graduates, please rise and express your appreciation to the faculty seated in front of you and your parents and family seated behind you. Class of 2015, you have certainly left your mark on Quinnipiac University, and for that we thank you. And I predict you will leave an even greater mark on the world that awaits you. Again, congratulations and best wishes to each and every one of you.
I ask Cal Penn, Crystal Bryan, and President Leahy to come forward for the conferral of the honorary degree.
Cal Penn, you garnered many fans for your roles in films and TV shows, such as House MD and How I Met Your Mother. But you gained admirers for your work in public service. You served as President Barack Obama's Associate Director of Public Engagement, acting as a liaison for Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. As the son of Indian immigrants, you endured challenges breaking into the movie business and breaking down racial stereotypes, but you appreciate the power that comes with being part of the mainstream media. In the 2012 Department National Convention, you used your influence to motivate young people to vote. A graduate of UCLA, you returned to the classroom to teach courses in culture and the media. You continue to entertain us with your roles in engaging films, such as the critically acclaimed The Namesake, and your most recent project, The Big Picture with Cal Penn. In recognition of your talent on the screen, your dedication to increasing the visibility of people of diverse backgrounds, and your ability to inspire young people, Quinnipiac University is pleased to confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters this 17th day of May, 2015.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce our newest alumnus and commencement speaker, Cal Penn.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this incredible honor. I'm very excited to be here today in the presence of so many graduates, families, friends, well-wishers, and faculty. Congratulations, graduates. I'm also honored to be here in the company of so many great people who were presented with honorary doctorates earlier in the day. Stu Leonard, who has an MBA and is a CEO and entrepreneur, got an honorary doctorate today, I believe in the business school. Dr. David Katz, who, as you can tell from his name, is already a doctor, and researches chronic disease prevention, was being presented with an honorary doctorate. And accompanied by people with such prestige, I'm deeply honored to accept this honorary doctorate as an actor best known for playing a stoner. I'm sure that your parents are thrilled to know that that's where all that money and debt went. Right here. Selfishly, I am excited to get this honorary doctorate. I have a lot of family members and friends who are doctors, and the closest I've come is to playing one on TV from time to time. So now that I'm a real-life doctor, I'm really excited. The next time I'm on a plane and they ask if there's a doctor on board, I'm going to push that thing like 20 times. Sad that it's not that kind of doctorate, but that's okay. As I started writing this speech, a few of my friends pointed out that I am luckily still young enough to apparently be relatable, but I guess still old enough to be able to deliver a commencement address. I know that probably more than half of you are still a little bit hungover, so I won't make this too cerebral. It did feel a little strange to be asked to deliver a commencement address because I feel like I've so rarely followed the rules, and in many ways a graduation celebration is the culmination of not just following the rules, but following them well and excelling in those pursuits. And while I still feel a little uneasy offering advice, I figured, how about a few disjointed thoughts and stories to kind of illuminate my feelings on how incredible I think it is that you are all graduating today, and how beautiful and wonderful the world that you're about to enter can be. And you should listen to me because I am a doctor. I feel like I stopped following the rules somewhere around high school after a guidance counselor told me, after I told her that I wanted to pursue a career in both the film industry and public service, she very quickly said, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're going to have to pick one. I decided she was wrong, and I tried anyway. And then when I started college, I wanted to double major in film and sociology, but the university didn't allow it, so I just amassed enough credits for a double major, even though they wouldn't give me the piece of paper that said so. And I fought them on it, and I petitioned, but I lost. Ultimately, I still felt good about getting the education that I wanted, even though technically it wasn't allowed. When I decided to take a sabbatical from acting for 2 years to serve as a White House aide, most people I knew privately told me that they thought I was crazy. The rule was, much like in professional sports, that you don't take a sabbatical from the film business if you actually really want to come back to it. I did it anyway, and I felt okay about that decision. Even this week in my professional life, now that I'm back to acting full-time, when an Oscar-nominated director told me that he wanted me in his movie, but he wanted me to wear a turban and speak with a stereotypical accent, after I privately got really angry and spouted off a bunch of profanity to people I knew well, I decided to politely call him and say no. For me, there were two things along the way that I had to realize if I wasn't going to follow other people's rules and expectations all the time. Number one, that things take time. And number two, that I was going to struggle. After I graduated college, there was a really rough period of about 6 years or more where I was sort of waiting tables, working odd jobs, and saving up some cash to pay for rent and to go on auditions. Those years were particularly tough. I had a degree from a top university, and here I was working odd jobs for 6 years. Started to think maybe I had made some wrong decisions. Maybe my guidance counselor was right. Most of us, of course, do have to struggle. Whether you are following the rules or not, you're going to have to pay your dues. You're going to continue to fight and work very hard for what it is that you want. As graduates, you know you might be living at home for a little while you're getting things in order. You might not be able to do the things that you want to do right away, right when you graduate. Things will always take time. And that can be a really good thing. We're alive during a time in which sending an angry tweet or a quick text can feel really good or make something happen, but we increasingly feel like the consequences of those brash actions don't really matter, that they disappear, sort of like the pics half of you Snapchatted to each other last night. For better or for worse, when you leave this place, you're going to enter a world that moves much more slowly than you would like it to. Many of you will struggle immensely to find a job or to pay off loans. Those of you with jobs might be working 90-hour weeks in insanely fast-paced environments. That pace will operate very differently from the real things that ultimately matter in life. You'll fall in love. You'll deal with heartbreak. You'll find yourselves having to do and experience things much more difficult than you ever could have imagined. The loss of a parent, the birth of a child. None of these things are taught in college, and they all take a lot of time to process and work through. There are also all of the experiences that tie you to every other human being on the planet. You'll figure out how to move on and become a better person through all of those experiences. So be good to yourself as these joys and devastations happen. Treat yourself and other people kindly. They're likely experiencing the same things in life, no matter how different they might seem on the outside. Now, not all of this is going to make total sense to you sitting here half hungover, waiting for the ceremony to end so you can celebrate with your parents and friends and family. And for the record, I actually hated the realization that things happen very slowly. I'm a very impatient person. I'm from New Jersey. Okay, so you guys know it's very strange to try to understand the concept of relaxing if you're from New Jersey. It just doesn't happen. But in those 3 or 4 silly little stories I mentioned about my guidance counselor and my university and the bizarre conversation with the Oscar-winning director, I think the point is not everyone who is giving you seemingly bad advice or bureaucratic excuses or even petty racist banter, they're not necessarily trying to wish you ill. It's important to work to change their minds and change the system if you can. It makes sense to speak to people respectfully and kindly, even if you're not necessarily getting the same in return. And it's important to trust yourself. Unless you're getting a job because your uncle is an executive of some company, which I envy, by the way, you'll likely be hired on your merit, and you will likely have to keep your head down and constantly keep proving yourself. Not following the rules doesn't mean you're just going to struggle. It also means you're going to find yourself experiencing all of the amazing things that life has to offer you on every different path that you can toy with. I'll tell you a quick story to illustrate what I mean. Even though I wanted to work in film and public service, I never thought in a million years that I would have the opportunity to serve my country as a White House aide. And on my second day at work, I was tasked with helping put together an executive order that the president wanted to sign that would essentially streamline federal resources for underserved communities in areas like language access, poverty, health services, things that the federal government, regardless of party affiliation, had historically been wasting money on instead of spending it wisely. So my job on my second day at the White House was to join a conference call with 18 different federal agencies. And my understanding was I was going to take notes and report back to my boss on how the conference call went. All the information was things that I had known very well. I read up on it, but having worked on the president's campaign 2 years prior, I pretty much knew this information inside and out. So on a Tuesday at 10 a.m., I hopped on a conference call, my first thing that I ever had to do at the White House. And I took notes, and at 10:50, after all of these 18 people had debated whether or not one particular federal agency should be part of the president's plan, the call was wrapping up, and somebody said, "Okay, so what's the decision?" And I'm sitting there listening, taking notes. Somebody else says, "Seriously, guys, what's the decision? We all have another meeting." And I'm taking notes, and then somebody goes, "Well, who's on from the White House?" And I kind of look up, and I look into my phone, and I lean, and I go, "Well, this is Cal." I go, "Oh, great, yeah, so what's the decision?" And at that moment, I sort of thought to myself, surely there's an adult on the phone somewhere who's going to make a decision that's going to affect the country, sort of, right? And I knew the information, so I just very quickly said, I don't think we need that agency to be part of the executive order. I think the president would find it wasteful. And everyone said, "Great, thank you." I hung up the phone. Everyone said, "We'll join the next call in the following week to discuss the next agenda item to push this executive order through." And I hung up the phone, and I ran to my boss's office. I mean, I ran through the staff quarters, across this little walkway, up 3 flights of stairs into the West Wing. And I was panting, and I just barged into my boss's door, and I said, "I was on that conference call. He told me to get on and said this agency can't be part of the president's executive order." And she looked at me. She's typing. She goes, "Yeah, great. That's why we hired you." And I just said, "Yeah, no, I know. I just figured I would tell you what happened on the call." And she laughed at me, and she goes, "Yeah, great. You know, next time you can just email me." I said, "All right, I get it. The nervousness kind of got the best of me." Then a couple of weeks and months go by, and the way it works with many executive orders is all sorts of presidents decide that they want to have people from the community present when they sign an executive order. And so the week or two leading up to that, if you're the staffer tasked with doing that, you know, it's a lot of sleepless nights. I wasn't really shaving, sort of like now. You know, I was wearing suits to work, but they weren't necessarily freshly pressed because I didn't have any public meetings. That goes on for about 2 weeks, and then finally, you know, you get to brief the president in the Oval Office before he does this signing ceremony event. And the White House is a very small place for those of you who have done a tour. You see everyone from the president to senior staffers to everyone sort of walking around. And I knew the night before this big Oval Office briefing, I thought this is a very proud day for me and for my parents. And I know that when they moved to America, they never thought that their son would have a chance to brief the president of the United States on a document that he wanted to sign. And the night before, I shaved and I got a haircut and I took my suit in for dry cleaning. And I go in that morning that I'm supposed to brief the president, and I take one step into the Oval Office, and the first thing that he says to me is, "Hey, look who decided to shave today." And I thought, no, sir, no, that's your lead-in? No, I can't tell my parents the story. They would be horrified. How did you know? It's like, I see you looking haggard walking around the hallway the last 2 weeks. Okay, this is a note to self. Always look presentable if you're going into any job situation. The point of telling you those two connected stories is that I think trusting yourself at different stages in life after graduation is a very complicated thing. It's okay to be a little insecure, to try a little too hard, and to want to do the right thing immensely. It's okay when people call you crazy and tell you that the decisions you're making are the wrong ones if you know they're the right ones for yourselves. During those 6 years of waiting tables and struggling, during the years prior and since, when I regularly ignored the rules or advice of my guidance counselor or university or friends, during those years I never could have imagined that I would have the privilege of working in some of the most amazing, creative, ridiculous places in the greatest country in the world. I loved my time in Washington, D.C. I've loved my time on the most bizarre film and TV sets. And to everyone, the decision to be an actor and the decision to work in Washington, D.C. was crazy. But part of my desire to do both was because they were both things I loved, but also because of the belief that if you're going to have an opinion about something, you should also act on it. Don't allow other people to assign a value to you based on what you decide to do for a living, or where you live, or who you love, or where you're from. You can have a full life even if you don't live up to the expectations or desires of other people, whatever it is you decide to do when you leave here. Learning to trust yourself can be one of the hardest things to do when things aren't going well. Do something crazy that makes everyone around you a little bit freaked out, but do it with love and happiness. How to trust yourself isn't something taught in college. You'll learn it after you leave this place tomorrow, and after you succeed and fall flat on your face and make your first real paycheck and fall in love and have your heart broken and do amazing, incredible, wonderful things that you never thought would ever be possible in life. Don't let anyone tell you no. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the struggle, and enjoy all of the wonderful things that you're about to do. Congratulations, graduates, and thank you.
Thank you, Cal. I now ask Dr. Robert Smart, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, to come forward and present College of Arts and Sciences candidates for degrees.
Thank you. On behalf of the College of Arts and Sciences, the faculty and staff, I want to wish all the graduates the best of luck. I think it's the best looking bunch of graduates we've had all day, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Could the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts from the College of Arts and Sciences please approach the stage to my left, and the marshals will direct. Julia Michelle Abele. Jillian I. Abshir. Alicia Acosta. Ingrid Rodleen Adrian. Shelby Ann Aiello. Elizabeth Cook Alexander. Francesca Marie Jude Anastasio. Emily Rose Andreessen. Dana Marie Anatone. Alyssa Ann Annunziata. Anthony Ralph Annunziata Jr. Jordan Samara Axelrod. Kelly Marie Babstock. Marquise Barnett. Kelly Hill Bago. Ashley Marie Barbuito. Samantha Lee Beckwith. Elaine Devlin Benson. Riley Walter Philip Bergadere. Brian Thomas Blake. Casey Jordan Block. Melissa Nicole Boscarino. Matthew Robert Bowser. Amy Marie Brzezowski, Stephen Francis Bryant, Devin M. Buccino, Ronald M. Burgess, Justin Lee Burnett, Shannon Marie Killane, Matthew Douglas Cameron, Aaliyah Christina Capello, Christopher Cariani, Nicole Lee Carangelo, Lisa D. Casali, Tanner Nicole Celestin, Chelsea Marie Cerrillo, Samantha Irene Chassie, Amanda Nicole Chili, Aaliyah D. Clark, Caitlin Sarah Clark, Brandon James Cole, Megan Connolly, Adam Scott Coopersmith, Rachel Marie Corso, Deanna Marie Cody, Madeline Rose Cohen, Rachel Christina Cox, Alicia Marie Criscuolo, Alyssa Marie Cuellar, Peter Kevin Conniff, Brandon George Delana, Cheyenne Marie D'Arcangelo, Jessica Naomi Dasher, Samuel Harris Dower, Kristen DeVizio, Victoria Ann DeCrescenzo, Corey Ann Dietz, Anthony Raymond DeMarinis III, Sarah Lynn Dietrich, Thomas Joseph Dextrader, Michael M. Diakakis, Stephanie Mary Delane, Emily Strait de Medunion, Charles Michael Doe, Scott T. Donahue, Carrie Lauren Dublair, Erica Annette Dumore, Andre Michelle Ada and Wareham, Ali Fadil, Rebecca Ann Fano, Jarena Ann Fargeorge, Jessica Marie Faray, Amanda Elizabeth Fava, Matthew Charles Fazekas, Kelly Patricia Fitzpatrick, Olivia Lynn Foley, Cara Fortier, Matthew Marco Frenzia, Fallon E. Frawley, Lucy Catherine Freeman, Sarah Dudley Friedman, Gabrielle Joanna Friedman, Morgan Elizabeth Fritz Ward, Leah K. Fury, Allison Haig Gabel, Dionisio Alejandro Gallardo, Eileen Gambardella, Thomas F. Garrity, Michael Scott Junta, Lindsay Ann Given, Zachary Michael Glassman, Gabriel Charles Godfrey, Alyssa Lauren Goldberg, Brandon Lee Goodwin, William Henry Gray, Samantha Lee Green, Adeja Hadea Grieg, Allison Clark Grover, Alexandra Morgan Gruber, Anne Francis Guadalini, Vincent Edward Goliti, Ariel Emil Gunatarati, Jason Douglas Haddon, Ahmed Mohammed Hamadi, Madeline Ruth Harding, Madeline Claire Harding, Diamond Lashai Hawkins, Roxana Haidiati, Margaret Catherine Heron, Jillian Faith Heller, Christian J. Henson, Tyler Matthew Hurley, Ava Rose Hester, Jessica Rose Higgins, Jessica Marie Hofer, Jennifer Lauren Ribko, Abigail Griffin Hudson, Lindsay Marie Ingram, Alicia Haley Jakaloff, Megan Ann Joyce, Vicky Juselin, Mindy M. Jurgen, Melissa Ann Kalajian, Audra Claire Kalinowski, Allison Jean Kennedy, Michael Joseph Keys, Jessica Ann King, Scott Thomas Konechny, Emmanuel Lavoy, Krista Colleen Langen, Stephanie Rose Langen, Ian Matthew Lesterino, Christopher Michael Laudetti, Ariana Francesca Lonnie, Jamie Lynn Liali, Loden Miriam Leto, Naomi Ruth Lemire, Lawrence Leong, Isabel Hannah Madeline Lindgren, Brett Edward Litke, Aaron T. Lounsbury, Catherine Ann Lupardi, Evan Michael McDonald, Emily Marie Maggio, Nicole Lee Magnet, John Robert Mance, Marcia Nicole Mariani, Alexa Brianne Marino, Alyssa Mary Marino, Jonathan Brooks Marston, Nicholas Paul Martin, Christina Elizabeth McGonigal, Evan L. McKay, Sarah J. Manoni, Clara Isabel Mesavage, Melanie Leigh Miska, Victoria Joanne Moore, Lydia Anya Morales, Ashley Brooks Moreau, Jacob Harold Morris, Jacqueline Jean Mott, Stephanie Taylor Mulligan, Jessica Diane Nigger, Daniel Nugent, Aaron Page Novak, Kyra M. Awkwat, Patrick Ralph O'Connor, Shannon Lynn O'Connor, Corey D. O'Halloran, Jacqueline Christine Ordonez, John Paul Orlando, Nicole Louise Palmer, Christian Daniel Panier, Marielina Pariatario, Colleen Mary Payne, Alexandra Elizabeth Penta, Jason Eduardo Peraza, Kath Andrew Pilansky, Sierra Marie Ponzo, Lauren Ann Portas, Connor Edward Powers, Dylan Patrick Priole, Jenna Marie Quenneville, Sydney Lila Reachin, Camden Elizabeth Reynolds, Jeremy D. Robideau, Christina Sue Rochester, Francesca Rodriguez, Caitlin Lauren Rogalski, Taylor Amber Rose, Samantha Hope Rosenberg, Jamie Udith Rosenthal, Gregory Richard Rubino, Matthew Jordan Rudolph, Bobby Rung, Riley James Ruth, Caroline Marie Ryan, Benjamin William Saad, Christopher Gabriel Sanchez, Danielle Taylor Scanlon, Allison Beth Shar, Michael Peter Schlesinger, Carrie Ann Shannon, Michael Henry Slonina, Kira Marie Smeltzer, Amy Elizabeth Solomon, Madison Taylor Sparago, Stephen Ryan Spiegler, Gail Elise Spielbergler, Rachel Gail Stauber, Emily Michelle Stead, Melissa Courtney Steen, Samantha Surdy, Brianna Royce Sweeney, Michael James Sirodiak, Andrew Grant Thompson, Giuliano Mario Torelli, Taylor Reed Trohan, Caroline Carpenter Tufts, Audrey Lee Terrell, Dana Victoria Umble, Kristen Lopez Valera, Devin Ray Vanaria, Taylor Alexandra Varga, Joseph Anthony Vasquez, Destiny Velez, Rodrigo Fernando Villegas, Chelsea Jean Vittner, Leanna Evelyn Vivolo, Kevin Dominic Volpe, Tina Kathleen Walker, Helene M. Wallace, Lindsay Ann Warner, Victoria Maria Violent, Joshua Travers Wells, Jessica Ann Warden, Samantha Nicole Whitaker, Sarah Y. Winjobi, Travis Harry Wood, Taryn Lillian Rotney, Amanda Michelle Ewan, Brittany Rose Young, Christine Angelina Zaffron, Rachel Elizabeth Zara, and Daniel Joseph Zeman. Mr. President, I have the honor to present from the College of Arts and Sciences the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Stand, please. Sorry about that.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations to all of you.
Please be seated now. Would the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Arts and Sciences please stand and approach the stage? Julia Cara Ascosini, Jason Alexander Adenolfi, Elizabeth Mary Anderson, Michael Vincent Avina, Samantha Marie Bodoin, Teresa A. Biberian, Matthew Harrison Beck, Abigail Grace Boomover, Frank Joseph Campisi Jr., Sarah A. Castillo, Jacqueline Grace Chambary, Heather Nicole Caraccio, Anthony Alfred Domenico, Elizabeth Bianca Emery, Aaron M. Ernst, Gabriela Celeste Finiello, Margaret Kelly Fitzgerald, Nicholas Anthony Frendo, Robert Vincent Freud, Kyle Gallatin, Zebediah Clinton Gervin. Zebediah is an award winner today. Zebediah is a recipient of the 2015 President's Scholarship Award as well as the 2015 Alumni Association Academic Achievement Award for the College of Arts and Sciences, where he majored in biochemistry and graduates with a 4.0 GPA. Zebediah is from Hannacroy, New York, and will be joined on stage by his parents Donna and Bill Gervin, whom he thanks for all the sacrifices they made to put him through college. Congratulations, Zebediah. Kyle Ryan Gravel, Matthew August Gray, Emily May Harris, Emma Marie Hayes, Danielle Marie Houle, Lee Patricia Janowski, Zachary Charles Kohlberg, Alicia Joe Krasnecki, Philip Ronald Labrius, Molly Ann Larson, Michael John Lisa, Carissa Love Lucienne, Sarah Elizabeth Lupinski, Elizabeth A. McWilliams, Patrick William Merritt, Chris John Misbrenner, Lauren Nicole Materko, who is another award winner from the College of Arts and Sciences. Lauren is a recipient of the 2015 President's Scholarship Award as well as the 2015 Alumni Association Academic Achievement Award for the College of Arts and Sciences, where she majored in biological science and minored in both chemistry and sociology, and also graduates with a 4.0 GPA. In the fall, she was inducted into Beta Beta Beta, the National Biological Honor Society, and in the fall, Lauren will begin working on her PhD in developmental biology at the Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas. Lauren is from Barnegat, New Jersey, and will be joined on stage by her parents, Sandra and Stephen Materko. Congratulations, Lauren. Sean Doherty Morin, Ephraim Isaac Nava III, Saleh Ahmad Rasid, Gracia Rivera Chinaga, Frederick C. Rodriguez, Leslie Ann Rosado, Melissa Lynn Rose, Ryan John Schwartz, Erica Lynn Seaman, Nicole Marie Siley, Rachel Arlene Stimson, David Joseph Turco, Jordan Hunter Vidal, Allison Corinne Wolf, Joshua David Wood, and Rasit Yakisir. Please stand, all of the Bachelor of Science candidates. Mr. President, I have the honor to present from the College of Arts and Sciences candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations to all the graduates.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Charlie Doe. Charlie is an English major from Scarborough, Maine, and he'll give the response of the class of 2015.
There we go. Thank you, Dr. Thompson, President Leahy, and members of the Platform Party. I've never really spoken to a crowd this large before, or followed someone as eloquent and inspirational as Dr. Cal Penn. So in order to get started, I figured now would be the best time to wish my mom a very happy birthday. Good evening, everyone. And thank you for letting someone else decide that I would be a part of one of the biggest days of your lives. First, allow me to be the 100th person to congratulate you as you graduate from this prestigious university. Being at graduation is a lot like doing chores. Other people are telling us how important and meaningful it is, but if you're like me, it isn't exactly something you've been itching to do. But today isn't just about me, it's about us as a class. So I want you to be a part of this address as well. So please, raise your hand if you would like college to end. Thought so. That isn't a lot of hands, class of 2015, but I'm not surprised. Since the beginning of this year, the most common phrases I've heard have all circled around how college is ending. And in a way it is. We've already seen the signs. We registered for our last classes over 8 months ago. Most of us have gone at least a year without participating in the housing lottery. And after today, we will only know Quinnipiac as alumni. I don't want college to end. But fortunately for us, the faculty and staff don't want it to end either, and it isn't supposed to. Commencement means the start or beginning of something. For all the talk of graduation and college coming to a close on May 17th, nothing about this ceremony signifies an end. If your college experiences end today, you're failing your last assignment as a Quinnipiac student. Of course, I'm not entirely serious. Graduation is an enormous accomplishment in itself, and we should all be proud. But if you let college end today, you're forgetting the most important lessons we've learned since our freshman year. 4 years ago, on a hot day in August, our entire freshman class gathered right here in front of the library in black robes for our induction ceremony. We listened as we were told that the next time we would all be together would be today, in the same place, at the culmination of our college experience, the very last class to do so on the quad. And look at us now. You probably aren't sitting next to the same person you did 4 years ago, but that's okay, because in all honesty, you aren't the same person you were 4 years ago. I know I'm not. I used to wear cargo shorts back then. Also back then, I thought graduation meant the end of something and the start of the real world. Now, I stand up here as one of you to share the understanding that the real world started a long time ago. Since August of 2011, we have all grown and learned far beyond what our majors taught us, and in ways that I can't summarize for you from this podium today. We've been tested outside the classroom far more than we have inside it. We've laughed, we've cried, we've triumphed, we've learned, but most importantly, we did it all together. Although today and that day in August may be the only two times we've physically been in the same place at the same time, the past 4 years have been marked by our class unity. Whether it was watching our sports teams reach unprecedented successes, dodging the construction on our beautiful campus, or the infamous QU email chain of 2013, Quinnipiac has brought us closer together and given us irreplaceable memories as a class that are unique to our experience. Today now adds to those moments, and regardless of what your collegiate experience looked like or what your involvement was, when each of us adds Quinnipiac University Class of 2015 to our resumes, we once again create a shared experience that will have value and meaning throughout our lives. This is what commencement signifies. Not the end of our collegiate experience, but the beginning of our opportunities to use it to succeed and excel for the rest of our lives. We registered for our most important class at Quinnipiac when we sat here 4 years ago. Although we never sat down and worked on it, this 4-year class on life lessons has meant more to us than anything else we've accomplished on this campus, whether it was through overcoming obstacles, navigating social situations, or ultimately finding new ways to define ourselves. Our college experience doesn't end today, just that class does. But colleagues of the class of 2015, if we know who we are, if we believe we will succeed, and if we understand that commencement is a beginning, not an end, feel free to applaud yourselves because you've passed Quinnipiac's final exam. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Congratulations, one and all. Would everyone please stand? Please remain standing after the benediction until the platform party and all graduates have recessed. Following that, you're invited to join us in greeting the new graduates at a reception under the tents. It is now my privilege to ask Andy Ober, Protestant chaplain, to once again come forward and deliver the benediction.
Please pray with me. Lord, make us, these graduates, Lord, make these graduates instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let them sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is discord, union. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Grant that they may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
Thank you.